I met Megrahi. I have to say, he seemed to me a rather aged man. I've met some serial killers in my time who are deeply dangerous. And Megrahi, I don't think, is a pleasant man. He was a Libyan security agent. He clearly had a role in this. But let's remember, this was state-sponsored terrorism. At the time I was being criticised for visiting Mr Megrahi, President Obama was shaking the hand of Colonel Gaddafi. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton entertained Gaddafi's family. Tony Blair and Gordon Brown embraced him in the desert. If we're going to criticise people for meeting with Libyans, let's deal with the Libyans who were ultimately responsible.
OK.
Megrahi took his orders, Gaddafi gave them.
You're presenting your side of the story here. The UK and the Libyan governments wanted a prisoner transfer deal. You were against...
Oh, absolutely.
And you were against that. But then you released him anyway. You must have known that the grief, the anger that was going to cause, particularly among the relatives.
Well, at the time when the prisoner transfer agreement was entered into, that was in 2007. At that time, Megrahi had not become ill with prostate cancer, so it was all unknown. It was in the very early stages of the first Scottish National Party administration. The UK signed up to a PTA with Libya. There was only one Libyan prisoner in Scotland. It was quite clear what they were seeking to achieve. That became quite clear to me because Jack Straw told me. It was all to do with British interests with BP. I actually refused the prisoner transfer application, and I did so because I listened to evidence not simply from victims who were opposed to a transfer, but to the Attorney General of the United States, because it became quite clear that when Camp Zeist had been established, the United Kingdom government, despite the fact that they wouldn't confirm that to me, had given assurances to the United States, to the United Nations and to Libya, as well as to the relatives, that he would serve his sentence in here. So I refused the prisoner transfer agreement, but he met the criteria for compassionate release, and on that basis I authorised his release.